The massive crystalline chamber of the Galactic Council gleamed with an eerie light, its intricate surfaces reflecting the gathered alien delegates' faces. J. Park stood at the center, his dark eyes scanning the room with a calm that seemed almost unnatural given the circumstances. Around him, the alien representatives looked down, both literally and figuratively. Massive holographic displays showed Earth's technological achievements, but they were met with nothing more than dismissive glances and quiet murmurs of ridicule. "Humans," announced Zalara, the primary representative from the Orion Confederation, "are not prepared for galactic diplomacy." Jay remained silent. His team, a carefully selected group of diplomats, scientists, and strategists, stood perfectly still. They knew something the aliens did not. The chamber was circular, with raised platforms where different galactic species sat in tiered rows. Humans occupied the lowest and smallest platform, positioned almost like an afterthought. Exotic alien forms surrounded them, some crystalline, some gaseous, some resembling complex machinery more than living beings. A robotic translation device converted Zalara's words into perfect English. "Your species lacks the technological sophistication, the cultural maturity, and the interstellar experience required for council membership." Beside Jay, He Kim, a military strategist with piercing eyes, slightly smiled. It was not a smile of happiness, but of something else, something calculating. The alien delegates began their formal voting process. Holographic displays flickered with data, showing voting percentages and diplomatic rankings. Earth was consistently at the bottom. "Unanimous decision," announced the Central AI System. Earth delegation rejected. Most human diplomatic teams might have shown anger, frustration, or despair. J. Park's team did none of these things. They simply stood, bowed politely, and prepared to leave. As they walked out, Zalara called out, "Do not attempt to reapply. Your civilization is not ready." Jay turned, his movement smooth and controlled. "We understand," he said simply. The walk back to their diplomatic shuttle was quiet. No discussions, no complaints, just a shared understanding that something significant was about to happen. Inside the shuttle, He Kim finally spoke. "Phase 1 complete." Jay nodded. The aliens believed they had dismissed humanity. In reality, they had just triggered something they could never have anticipated. The shuttle's advanced stealth systems engaged, rendering it invisible to standard tracking methods. Earth was about to embark on a journey that would change galactic politics forever. As they traveled, complex data streams began flowing through the shuttle's communication systems. Encrypted messages, technological schematics, strategic plans, all part of a massive, coordinated effort that had been years in preparation. Humans had been watching, learning, preparing. The Galactic Council thought they had rejected a primitive species. They had no idea they had just awakened a sleeping giant. Back on Earth, in underground research facilities and advanced technological centers, millions of scientists, engineers, and strategists were already in motion. The rejection was not an end. It was a beginning. Quantum computers hummed. Advanced AI systems processed complex scenarios. Military strategists mapped potential galactic conflict zones. Technological innovators pushed the boundaries of known science. J. Park looked out the shuttle's window, watching stars streak by. The alien delegates believed they had made a simple diplomatic decision. They did not realize they had just made the most significant mistake in galactic history. Humanity would not be ignored. Humanity would not be dismissed. And the universe was about to learn exactly what that meant. The shuttle continued its journey, carrying with it the first seeds of a revolution that would reshape everything the Galactic Council thought they knew about human potential. The underground research facility stretched deep beneath the Earth's surface, a labyrinth of advanced technology and human potential. Sung Choi walked slowly through the corridors, his footsteps echoing against walls lined with quantum processors and holographic displays. Outside, the world continued its normal routine. People went to work, children attended school, Governments maintained their usual facade. But here, beneath the surface, humanity was preparing for something extraordinary. Wu Li stood before a massive wall of interconnected computer systems. His fingers moved rapidly across holographic interfaces, lines of code dancing like living entities. Each algorithm was a weapon, each line of programming a potential revolution. "Progress report," Sung called out. Wu didn't look up. "Quantum communication systems at 78% optimization. AI learning algorithms exceed previous projections by 42%. The facility was more than a research center. It was humanity's silent response to galactic dismissal. Every computer, every researcher, every single piece of technology was focused on a single goal: proving the Galactic Council wrong. Advanced artificial intelligence systems were learning at an unprecedented rate. They absorbed information from global networks, scientific databases, and military archives. Machine learning algorithms developed solutions to problems humans hadn't even conceived yet. In another section of the facility, materials scientists worked on revolutionary nanotechnology, microscopic machines that could reshape matter, repair complex systems, and potentially transform entire planetary environments. These were not just scientific experiments. They were humanity's silent message to the universe. Genetic researchers explored human potential, not for weapons but for understanding. How could human adaptability be enhanced? What hidden capabilities lay dormant in human DNA? Each discovery was another piece of the strategic puzzle. Sung watched a holographic display showing global resource allocation. Massive investments were being redirected. Military budgets, technological research, educational programs. Everything was being optimized for a single purpose. "We are not preparing for war," Sung often told his team. "We are preparing for recognition." The facility operated on a principle of total secrecy. No external communications, no leaks. The entire project was a closed system, with only carefully selected personnel having any knowledge of its true scope. Quantum computers processed millions of potential galactic scenarios. They mapped diplomatic interactions, technological capabilities, and potential conflict zones with mathematical precision. Each simulation provided new insights into humanity's strategic position. Wu approached Sung, holding a data tablet. "Initial projections are complete. Our technological advancement curve is exponential." Sung nodded. The Galactic Council had seen humans as primitive. They did not understand that humanity's greatest strength was its ability to learn, adapt, and overcome. Outside the facility, the world continued its normal rhythm. But here, beneath the surface, a revolution was brewing. Not a revolution of violence, but a revolution of intelligence. Every researcher understood the mission. Every scientist knew the stakes. Humanity would not be ignored. Humanity would not be dismissed. The quantum processors continued their endless calculations. AI systems learned and evolved. Nanotechnology developed. Genetic research expanded human potential. Sung looked at a world map displaying global research centers. This was not just one facility. Similar research was happening in hidden locations across the planet. A coordinated global effort to prove humanity's worth. "We are ready," Wu said quietly. Sung smiled. The Galactic Council had made a mistake. They had underestimated humans. And now, humanity was preparing its response. The silent preparation continued. Beneath the surface, beyond the view of ordinary eyes, humanity was transforming. Not through weapons, not through aggression, through pure, limitless potential. The communication center was silent, almost eerily so. Dai Huang sat before a complex array of quantum communication devices, his fingers hovering just above a holographic interface. Beside him, Rai Park monitored energy signatures and communication protocols. They were about to send a message that would change everything. The transmission would travel through quantum entanglement channels, a communication method far beyond what the Galactic Council understood. No conventional tracking system could intercept or understand its complex encryption. Ri began the final sequence. Complex mathematical algorithms transformed into a communication package that was more than just a message. It was a precise, calculated demonstration of human capability. The message contained no threats, no aggressive language, just pure, cold information. Detailed schematics of quantum communication technologies appeared first, not just theoretical designs but working prototypes that demonstrated capabilities far beyond anything the Galactic Council had seen. Next came technological projections, mathematical models showing humanity's potential technological growth over the next decades. Each projection was backed by rigorous scientific calculation, showing an exponential advancement curve that would make most alien civilizations look primitive. Embedded within the transmission were precise simulations, not just theoretical scenarios, but mathematically accurate demonstrations of how humans could systematically disrupt entire galactic communication and transportation networks without firing a single weapon. Day watched the transmission's progress. Each quantum packet carried more information than entire alien databases. It was a message that said, "Without words, we are not asking for a seat. We are telling you we can take one." The communication system hummed with an intense energy. Quantum particles danced through impossible spaces, carrying humanity's silent warning across galactic distances. Ree looked at Day. Transmission sequence complete. No celebration, no dramatic moment. Just a simple acknowledgement of a task accomplished. In the Galactic Council's communication centers, strange anomalies would begin appearing. Unexplained data streams, complex mathematical sequences that defied traditional understanding. A warning wrapped in pure scientific language. The message was clear. Humans were not seeking permission. They were demonstrating capability. Each section of the transmission was carefully crafted. Technical specifications that showed not just current capabilities, but potential. Simulations that revealed how quickly humans could adapt and overcome. Technological challenges. Embedded within the communication were subtle references to Earth's diverse scientific achievements. Medical breakthroughs. Quantum computing advancements. Nanotechnology developments. Each example a quiet reminder of human potential. The transmission traveled faster than light, using quantum entanglement channels that most alien civilizations couldn't even comprehend. It was not just a message. It was a statement. Day knew the Galactic Council would initially dismiss the transmission. They would see it as another attempt by a primitive species to gain attention. They did not yet understand that this was a calculated move. Ree began shutting down the communication systems. Each action was precise, leaving no trace of the transmission's origin point. Quantum communication systems were designed to be untraceable, uninterceptable. Message delivered, Ree said quietly. Day nodded. The first step was complete. Now they would wait. In communication centers across alien worlds, strange signals would begin appearing. Complex data streams that defied traditional understanding. The first whispers of a warning that humanity was preparing to speak. Not with weapons, not with aggression, but with pure, mathematical precision. The universe was about to receive a message it would never forget. The first signs were subtle. Navigation systems across multiple alien worlds began experiencing strange glitches. Communication networks flickered. Resource distribution channels suddenly became unpredictable. Xiao Kang watched the global monitoring screens, his fingers dancing across quantum interface systems. Each movement was calculated, precise, almost mathematical in its execution. No alarms, no direct attacks, just a systematic disruption that suggested something far more significant was possible. On the Orion Confederation's primary communication hub, entire data networks went silent for precisely 37 minutes. Not destroyed. Just paused. As if something was demonstrating its ability to simply switch off entire systems at will. Unibae monitored the global response. Alien civilizations began scrambling. Panic was spreading, not through violence but through the realization of potential vulnerability. Quantum intrusion systems penetrated galactic infrastructure without leaving a trace. Each penetration was a surgical strike of information, showing capability without causing permanent damage. The Zeta Quadrant's primary navigation network experienced a complete recalibration. Every single ship's navigation system was gently nudged, showing how easily human technology could redirect entire fleets without firing a single weapon. Siak smiled. This was not destruction. This was a demonstration. Alien diplomatic channels began lighting up. Urgent communications, confused reports, warnings about mysterious technological interventions that defied traditional understanding. Una reviewed the strategic objectives. The goal was not to cause harm. The goal was to show potential, to demonstrate that humanity could, if it chose, completely disrupt galactic infrastructure with minimal effort. Communication satellites experienced synchronized anomalies. Resource transfer networks showed unexpected redirections. Entire planetary defense systems momentarily became responsive to invisible external signals. No lives were threatened. No direct damage was caused. Just a pure, calculated demonstration of technological superiority. The quantum intrusion was so precise that most systems didn't even recognize it as an attack. It was more like a gentle reminder, a technological whisper that said, "We can do this whenever we want." Siak continued, monitoring. Each intervention was mapped, calculated, perfectly executed. Humans were showing their capability through pure technological prowess. Alien civilizations began emergency meetings. Diplomatic channels buzzed with confusion and fear. Who could penetrate their most secure systems so easily? Who could demonstrate such total technological control? The answer was simple. Humans. Una reviewed the global response. Panic was spreading not through violence but through the realization of human potential. Each technological intervention was a message. Respect us, or we can do much more. Resource distribution networks experienced subtle redirections. Nothing catastrophic. Just enough to show that human technology could fundamentally alter galactic infrastructure if it chose. Communication systems across multiple alien worlds began receiving strange, encrypted messages, mathematical sequences, technological specifications, subtle demonstrations of capabilities that went far beyond current. Understanding Siak knew each intervention was carefully calculated. The goal was not destruction. The goal was demonstration. Entire planetary defense networks momentarily became responsive to external signals, not to cause harm, just to show that they could be accessed, redirected, controlled. The universe was receiving a message. Humans were not asking for a seat at the table. Humans were demonstrating they could redesign the table if they wanted. Una watched the global monitoring systems. Each intervention was a precise, calculated move in a larger strategic game, a game of technological chess where humans were several moves ahead. No weapons, no violence, just pure calculated technological superiority. The Galactic Council would soon understand. Humans were not a species to be dismissed. Humans were a species to be respected. And they were just getting started. The Galactic Council chamber was different this time, silent, tense. Gone was the previous arrogance, replaced by a palpable sense of uncertainty. Jin Kim walked in, accompanied by Elena Rodriguez. Their steps were measured, calm, almost calculated. No military uniforms, no aggressive postures, just pure, confident diplomacy. Zilara, the same alien representative who had previously dismissed humans, now looked different, smaller, uncertain. Humanity demands equal representation, Jin began, his voice steady. The chamber remained silent. The previous technological demonstration had changed everything. Alien civilizations now understood what humans were capable of achieving. Elena placed a small, data tablet on the central communication platform. It contained not demands but proposals. Detailed plans for technological exchange, scientific collaboration, and mutual galactic development. The holographic displays around the chamber showed precise documentation of humanity's recent technological interventions. Not as threats but as demonstrations of potential. Each alien representative reviewed the data. Navigation disruptions, communication network penetrations, resource distribution redirections, all achieved without a single physical confrontation. Silara's crystalline form seemed to tremble slightly. "You could have caused significant damage," she said. Jin's response was simple. "But we didn't." The message was clear. Humans had the capability to destroy, but chose cooperation instead. Elena began presenting detailed proposals, scientific exchange programs, technological collaboration frameworks, diplomatic integration strategies. Each proposal was mathematically precise, strategically sound. The Galactic Council members exchanged glances. Humans were no longer the primitive species they had dismissed. Humans were a potential game-changing civilization. "Your terms?" asked the Andromedan representative. Jin's response was straightforward. Equal representation, technological respect, mutual collaboration, no demands for special treatment, no aggressive negotiations, just a clear, calculated proposal of mutual benefit. The negotiation was unlike any previous diplomatic interaction. Humans presented their capabilities not as weapons, but as potential collaborative tools. Each proposal showed how human technology could benefit multiple galactic civilizations. Elena demonstrated quantum communication technologies that could revolutionize interstellar communication. Jin presented medical research that could potentially cure diseases affecting multiple alien species. The Galactic Council was experiencing a fundamental shift. Humans were not seeking conquest. Humans were offering partnership. Silara reviewed the proposals. Complex mathematical models showed how human technological advancements could solve critical galactic challenges, resource distribution problems, communication network limitations, technological integration challenges. "We misjudged your species," Silara finally admitted. Jin's response was diplomatic. "We're here to collaborate, not compete." The negotiation continued. Hours passed. Detailed discussions about technological exchange, scientific collaboration, and mutual developmental strategies. Humans had transformed the entire diplomatic landscape, not through aggression, not through violence, but through pure calculated intelligence. As the negotiations concluded, something fundamental had changed. The Galactic Council now saw humans not as a primitive species, but as a potentially transformative civilization. Elena looked at Jin. A subtle smile crossed her face. They had achieved their objective, not through force, but through demonstration of potential. The Galactic Council had a new member. Humanity was no longer asking for a seat at the table. Humanity was redesigning the table itself.